welcome to our channel, Adventures of D&J, where me and my husband James take you on all of our adventures through all of our different travels. And so today is going to look a little different because we're not going on an adventure, but we're going on an adventure to save some money. And so we have done a bunch of different Disney cruises, and while Disney tends to be the cruise line that charges a slight premium to their cruises, there is ways to save money on your Disney cruise, and we're going to tell you how. So first, number one is to go on a cruise during off season. And so what is off season? Obviously, we love Disney. We would take a Disney cruise without our kids. They might cry. So I don't know if we'll ever actually do that, but we would totally be down for it. But they're very kid-centric cruises. So because of that, their busy times are typically when the kids are out of school. So think about it like spring break, summer, fall break, and Thanksgiving and Christmas timeframes. That's when the prices of the cruises go up. So if you go probably like early September, mid to late January and early February, those are some good times right after spring break. Those are some good times where you can get a cheaper deal on the same exact cruise that maybe would fall in summer or Christmas time frame. So like everything, if you can go off season, do it. If you can pull the kids out of school for a couple days, do it, because it will be cheaper. The second tip that I have, number two, would be to use a Disney travel agent. And so not necessarily one that is employed by Disney Cruise Line, but there are some travel agent companies that do nothing but Disney. Disney World, Disney Cruises, sometimes they'll do Universal, and they'll do Aulani in Hawaii. They'll do all different types of Disney type trips. And so if some of those, you have to look into them. Some of them will offer you onboard credit by using them. And so we use Small World Vacations, and we have a great travel agent. So if you want her contact, just comment below and we'll send it over to you. And what they do is give you an onboard credit. So the onboard credit can be used to pay for gratuities, like shopping, excursions, drinks, whatever you have on board. They offer that based off of your cruise fare. So the more you pay for the cruise, the higher the onboard credit. And now that does come out of their commission, but that's just the way these companies are structured. So they are able to give you onboard credit just by utilizing them. So we do use them. It's been nice with the unfortunate pandemic that happened in March. The cruise we just went on was actually, we were supposed to take that summer of 2020, and it's just been rescheduled and rescheduled and rescheduled. And while I'm a planner, I know what I want. I know how much things cost. I know what rooms I want. I could book everything myself. It is nice to have a travel agent, especially in this scenario, because she was the one on hold, because time is money, guys. And so she was the one on hold, rescheduling all of our trips, making sure they applied our credits from the cancellations, and really going above and beyond. So she is the one that was able to do it. So while you may not necessarily need a travel agent to plan your cruise, they are super helpful in many different capacities. So I just want to pause right here, guys. We are just starting our channel. If you could give us a thumbs up, like this video, it would help us out a lot. Also, if this content is something that you're into, please subscribe. We're going to have many more videos. We have a cruise at the end of this month that's not Disney. It's our first time on it, and we're going to take you along with us. So please subscribe, share. We appreciate all of you just viewing our content. So number 3. So Disney allows you to bring on your own beer and wine. And so they allow each adult to bring a 6-pack of beer or 2 bottles of wine. And there are restrictions, right? Like, so don't go get the jumbo bottles of wine and consider those your one. It's a maximum bottle of wine. I think it's 750 milliliters, and then a 6-pack of beer. Now you may ask me, can I do seltzer? Lots of people like White Claws, Trulies, all those new seltzers. I think you can do that, but double check Disney's website. It will tell you specifically if you can. And this will help save you money because it's obviously more significantly cheaper to do that than to buy a beer or a glass of wine on the trip. And so this is per port. So per adult, per port. So when you get on, that's one time. But anytime you happen to go to your port, obviously Castaway does not have a liquor store, but the other ports do. There's tons of shops right outside there. You're allowed to get a refill of your beer and wine as well and bring it on the ship. You can't substitute alcohol. They confiscate that from you. You do technically, when you do your initial entrance into the ship, have to go through security and at every port. And while they haven't looked at our alcohol, the official rules are beer and wine. So I highly recommend you doing that. James and I, we like to bring a glass of wine to dinner to have with our meal. And so the rules do state you should be drinking it inside your stateroom, but many people just end up carrying it around with them. So it's very common. A lot of people have refillable mugs and stuff like that. We just get 2 empty wine glasses from any of the bars. We take it to the room and we fill up our glass of wine and then walk into dinner. So that way you don't have to pay, because if you take in your full bottle of wine to the dinner, you have to pay a corking fee. But so many people do that, and so I highly recommend it. It's much cheaper to go buy a bottle of wine. Our bottle of wine was the same as a glass of wine, so definitely something to consider if you do want to have alcoholic beverages in beer or wine on your cruise. Number 4. So trinkets. Lots of little kids, they look in the shops and they want a stuffed animal, they want a pen, they want a notebook, they want a shirt, whatever it may be. Those are Disney prices. You're on a Disney cruise line and you can find those things a lot cheaper somewhere else. So you can work with your child. You know your child best. You know your adult best, right? Like you have spouses that love that stuff too. But what we did when the kids were a little bit younger is we would bring our own stuff on board and we would give that to them either the first or second day or sporadically throughout the day. Through the trip, and that is significantly cheaper than what you're going to have to pay inside the gift shops, because they are duty free, but they are Disney prices, so they can be a little expensive just to buy your kids a couple things here and there. And last but not least, number 5. This is probably my best recommendation out of all of them. While on board, you can do something called a placeholder. And what a placeholder is a deposit for a future cruise. You do not have to know the dates of that future cruise or pick anything. You just put a placeholder on board. Right now they're doing it on the app. On our last cruise, the app gave people a lot of problems. They did a massive upgrade while we were on our cruise, and people had a lot of problems with their placeholders. So if you do happen to do one, I highly recommend screenshotting it if you have any issues, or even if you don't, because that, at least from our last cruise, has saved many people some heartache. So the placeholder is a $250 deposit, and it allows you to book a cruise and go on that cruise within a 24-month period. So 2 years after placing the placeholder, and it only can be done on the ship. You can't do this anywhere else. So if you forget to do it and you get off the ship, you're kind of like, that's just sorry about your bad luck sort of thing. And so remember to do it if that's something you want to do. So you put it on there. They can link it to your travel agent so that your travel agent knows, and they can help you book your next cruise. So what does it get you? So you put the $250 down, and it gets you a 10% off your next cruise. So family of 4, family of whatever, family of 2, 10% is real money in Disney cruise terms. So you can save a good chunk of money if you are able to do a placeholder and you know you want to do another cruise in 2 years. It also allows you, if you do a 7 or more night cruise, the deposit's a little bit less. And so that $250 goes and applies against whatever deposit once you decide which cruise you want to go on. So it's not like you miss out on that money. It just gets applied to your next cruise. And if you don't want it, you can get it refunded as well. Now, there are some blackout dates where they don't allow you to use those placeholders for certain cruises. We have done this quite a few times and have never had any issues with blackout dates and conflicting with our schedule. We were still able to book summer and spring break, and I think we even did a Christmas one. So they are still, many of them are still available, but that 10% off can be some significant money. So that's kind of some tips and tricks. We'll hopefully have some more for you on a variety of different travel expeditions and not just Disney. But if you like what we are talking about, please subscribe. If you have any personal Disney cruise money saving ideas, please comment below. Share with us. I would love to save some more money too. I think everybody would. So we can save that and apply it to our next cruise. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.